The Walser colonies who settled in Alagna and the surrounding hamlets from the 19th century gave their houses a strong architectural character, which makes them unmistakably unique. Their features have been studied in particular by Arialdo Daverio, the architect to whom the house museum you are visiting is dedicated. Daverio studied Walser architecture in detail and even carried out a census, numbering one by one all the ancient houses preserved today. For the Walser of Alagna, the house complied with 3 requirements. It had to be a home for family life, a stall to shelter the animals, and a barn to dry and store the forage. Thus, it had to have both a rural and a civil aspect. On the ground floor, there was the stall with the sitting area, the kitchen, and other utility rooms. On the first floor, there were the bedrooms. On the top floor, there was the barn and a small room for keeping food. From an architectural viewpoint, the Walser house consists of an inner core enclosed by walls formed by stacked logs, interlocked with one another at the corners. This peculiar type of construction, made by interlocking logs, is called blockbau. This structure is usually placed on a stone masonry base. Together with the blockbau, the other typical architectural feature of the Walser house is the wide loggia that surrounds the whole building. This kind of loggia is an answer to the local climate. In fact, summer in Valsesia is very rainy because the warm and humid air currents, which rise from the Po Valley, meet with the mountain massif of Monte Rosa and fall as rain. The Alagna farmers could not dry hay outside, but needed covered spaces, hence the use of a loggia with racks where hay, rye and hemp were placed. The typical floor plan of the house is a true geometrical masterpiece. It is a square, the blockbau, surrounded by the loggia, called lobbia, that is, a covered porch made of wooden columns. The side of the square is divided into 4 modules. Each module is equal to the distance between the main beams and the external columns that support the loggia. The module measures approximately 1 meter and 80 centimeters. The facade of the house is marked by the frame of the vertical columns, called piedritti, and the horizontal beams. The frame of the racks, called pertiche, is inserted into the main frame. The facade, therefore, has a very characteristic appearance, as it is formed by a geometrical design that expresses order and classical harmony. According to Daverio, the Walser house is man's temple, just like classical temples. The house is in fact surrounded by columns. Nevertheless, while the columns of ancient Greek temples, such as the Parthenon, are enormous in size, those of the Walser houses have the exact dimensions of a man. The module that regulates the plan of the whole house measures approximately 1 meter 80 centimeters, that is, like a man with open arms. Do you remember Leonardo da Vinci's drawing of a human figure inscribed in a circle? For Daverio, the diameter of that circle is precisely the module of Alagna.